Imagine a book lost in time, full of mysteries and revelations that could change everything you know about the Bible, angels, and the apocalypse. The Book of Enoch is one of the most enigmatic texts in human history, filled with stories of fallen angels, giants, and the coming of a devastating final judgment. But why was it removed from the Bible? What did religious authorities have to fear? If you've ever wanted to know what really lies behind this forbidden book, get ready for a surprising journey. This is the Unholy Secrets channel, and today we are going to unravel the mystery of the Book of Enoch, a text with disturbing and prophetic content that challenges the boundaries of what we know about religion and the apocalypse. If you're a fan of mysteries, secrets, and deep themes, this video is for you. Stay with us until the end, because the revelations we are going to discuss will shake your beliefs about what is truly hidden in the scriptures. The Book of Enoch was rejected by mainstream churches and excluded from the biblical canon, yet its impact and influence remain present. This text is not just an ancient narrative. It reveals a completely different vision of creation, evil, and the final judgment, bringing to light unknown figures and events. What made the fallen angels, the Nephilim, and even the apocalyptic visions of this book cause so much discomfort among religious authorities? And why does this book remain excluded from the Bibles of many religions to this day? Let's explore these questions as we delve deeper into the layers of this ancient secret. The Book of Enoch, also known as 1 Enoch, is one of the most fascinating texts in religious literature, with a rich and complex history. It is not just a literary work, but also a key to understanding the apocalyptic and esoteric visions that emerged in a distant era, whose remnants continue to influence religious history to this day. Its origins trace back to the period between the 3rd century BC and the 1st century AD, a time when Judaism was diversifying and undergoing transformation, particularly with the influence of Hellenism. The book is a collection of writings that address a series of profound themes, such as the nature of angels, God's judgment, the origin of evil, and the final destiny of humanity. One of the most striking features of the Book of Enoch is its blend of apocalyptic and mystical elements, which differ from the writings found in most biblical traditions. In its first section, titled The Book of the Watchers, the text introduces the Watchers, angels sent to Earth to teach humanity the arts of civilization. However, in an act of disobedience, these angels fall in love with human women, resulting in the birth of a race of giants known as the Nephilim. The Watchers teach humans forbidden practices such as metallurgy, astrology, and magic, which leads to the corruption of humanity. According to the Book of Enoch, this transgression caused immense moral and spiritual decay on Earth. And it was this corruption that provoked God's wrath, resulting in the Great Flood, a divinely ordered purification. The text not only tells the story of this fall, but also describes the punishment of the Watchers, who are imprisoned and condemned to eternal suffering, something that was omitted or diluted in the traditional biblical narrative. The story of the Watchers and Nephilim is one of the most controversial aspects of the Book of Enoch. The depiction of fallen angels, disobedient to God and interacting with human beings, is seen as a serious violation of traditional theology, in which angels are pure beings dedicated to God. The Nephilim, the offspring of this forbidden union, are described as immensely powerful beings, but also violent and corrupt, bringing destruction and chaos wherever they go. The word Nephilim, which in Hebrew means those who fell or giants, briefly appears in the Bible in Genesis 6:4. The verse says that the sons of God took the daughters of men as wives, and from this union giants were born. However, the Bible does not provide many details about the nature of these beings or the Watchers who came down to Earth. The Book of Enoch, however, goes much further and provides a detailed view of the history of these supernatural beings. The Watchers are described as powerful and intelligent angels sent to Earth to teach humans to live according to the divine will. However, their transgression is not limited to their union with women. but also includes the revelation of heavenly secrets to humans, such as the arts of war, sorcery, and astrology, which were clearly against the divine order. The birth of the Nephilim is not only seen as a violation of the limits of creation, but also as the origin of corruption in the world. They are described as a race of brutal giants, spreading evil and destruction throughout the earth. They corrupt humanity with their power, strength, and forbidden knowledge. The Watchers and their offspring are seen as responsible for the decay of human morality, and it is this corruption that leads God to order the flood as a means of purifying the earth. The concept of the Nephilim and their origin is one of the most debated issues, both in the Jewish and Christian contexts. While some traditions view these figures as a metaphor for evil, others treat them as a real race of supernatural beings that existed in the past. In some cultures, it is believed that the Nephilim still exist in some form, which has led to many theories about hidden giants and the existence of extraterrestrial beings. The Book of Enoch is not limited to describing the Watchers and Nephilim. It also presents a unique vision of the final judgment. The book describes the return of a Messiah, a celestial figure who will come to judge humanity and separate the righteous from the wicked. This Messiah is described in a way very similar to the Christian concept of Jesus Christ, but with some significant differences. The Messiah in Enoch is called the Son of Man, a title also associated with Jesus in the New Testament. He is described as a celestial figure of great power, who will come with angels to establish divine judgment. This judgment will be severe for the wicked, who will be punished, while the righteous will be rewarded and will live in a new paradise on earth. The concept of a final judgment and divine salvation is a central theme in the Book of Enoch, and it is one of the reasons the book had such an impact on apocalyptic traditions. The vision of a corrupted world being restored to its original purity, with the direct intervention of a celestial Messiah, resonates deeply with Christian theology, and many scholars believe the Book of Enoch may have influenced the early Christians as they developed their own ideas about the second coming of Christ. This idea of the Son of Man also has significant implications for Christian beliefs about the return of Jesus and the apocalypse. The Book of Enoch presents a vision of divine justice that will be imposed at the end of times, with the final separation between the good and the bad, and a renewed world where peace and order will prevail. This apocalyptic image was not only influential for Christians, but also for other religious and cultural movements throughout history. The exclusion of the Book of Enoch from the biblical canon is a controversial issue that continues to spark debates. During the early centuries of Christianity, the book was widely read and respected in many Christian communities. However, as Christianity consolidated itself as the official religion of the Roman Empire, the Book of Enoch was progressively discarded. The primary reason for the exclusion of the Book of Enoch appears to have been its radical view on the role of angels in the apocalypse. The concept of fallen angels interacting with humans and producing offspring with them, along with the apocalyptic vision of the final judgment, was at odds with the prevailing theology. Additionally, the strong emphasis on forbidden practices, such as astrology and witchcraft, also conflicted with what was considered acceptable for Christians. The Council of Carthage, held in 397 AD, formalized the exclusion of the Book of Enoch from the official canon of the Catholic Church. The Church feared that the book could weaken the authority of the Holy Scriptures and lead the faithful astray from established doctrines. Still, the book was never completely lost. It survived primarily in an Ethiopic version and was preserved by the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, which still considers it part of its canon. This raises interesting questions about how different religious traditions may view and interpret the scriptures. The survival of the Book of Enoch in some parts of the world indicates that it holds significant value for some communities, and that perhaps it was protected so that its mysterious and revealing content would not be forgotten. Although the Book of Enoch was excluded from the biblical canon, its influence on popular culture and philosophy cannot be underestimated. Over the centuries, it has influenced various religious movements, from apocalyptic Judaism to early Christianity, and its ideas about fallen angels, the Nephilim, and the final judgment have resonated deeply in countless esoteric traditions. The impact of the Book of Enoch can also be seen in many modern narratives. Films, books, and games frequently explore themes that have direct roots in the Book of Enoch, such as the struggle between angels and demons, the fall of the Watchers, and the creation of giants. The idea of supernatural beings secretly acting in the world and the secrets they keep is a recurring theme in popular culture, reflecting the fascination that the book continues to exert. One of the most intriguing issues in the Book of Enoch is the role of the Watchers, or fallen angels, who were sent to Earth with the mission of observing and teaching humans. The story of how these angels disobeyed the divine command and taught humanity forbidden secrets raises a range of questions about what was revealed and how it affected the evolution of humankind. The Watchers were not merely observers, but also instructors. They taught humans various sciences and arts that, according to the text, were considered forbidden for mortals. Among these pieces of knowledge were astrology, metallurgy, magic, and even the crafting of weapons like the sword. For many scholars and theologians, these revelations suggest that the Watchers were not simply messengers of God, but agents of a kind of spiritual and moral corruption. What is particularly disturbing for traditional beliefs is that the Watchers were not just bringing wisdom from God, but sharing knowledge that, according to the book, God never intended for humans to know. Among the most important teachings were the arts of predicting the future and understanding the movement of celestial bodies. The practice of astrology, in particular, would generate great controversy, as many believe it is connected to the control and manipulation of destiny. From the perspective of the Book of Enoch, humans acquired power over the stars and nature itself through this forbidden knowledge. Additionally, metallurgy, especially the smelting of precious metals like gold and silver, was presented by the Watchers as a way to attain power and wealth. This practice would, according to the book, lead to a series of disastrous consequences for humanity by promoting greed and violence. The emergence of a materialistic society that places wealth and power above spiritual values is seen as one of the great corruptions caused by the intervention of the Watchers. Magic and occult rituals also play an important role in the Book of Enoch. The knowledge of these forbidden practices allows humans to acquire supernatural power, but it also places them on a path of corruption as they stray from spiritual purity and embrace forces that do not belong to the physical world. This teaching reflects the fear many religious traditions have toward the use of magical power, especially when it is acquired illicitly. Enoch, the biblical patriarch and protagonist of the book, plays a crucial role in the intercession between the human world and the divine. After the rebellion of the Watchers, Enoch is called by God to intercede on their behalf. He is taken to heaven, where he has a series of apocalyptic visions and receives privileged information about the coming divine judgment. Enoch, in his role as an intermediary, questions God about the guilt of the Watchers and intercedes on their behalf, asking for mercy. However, God reveals that the punishment is inevitable, as the corruption brought by these angels is irreversible. Enoch's role as an intercessor reflects the complexity of his figure in religious literature. He is not only a prophet, but someone who understands the need for divine justice. His journey to heaven is also described in great detail, with Enoch being taken to different levels of heaven and gaining access to cosmic secrets, which leads to a deep discussion about the nature of divine wisdom and the mysteries of the universe. This part of the Book of Enoch is particularly significant because it highlights the figure of Enoch as someone privileged, capable of receiving direct revelations from God. Unlike other prophets who merely relay divine messages, Enoch has a transformative experience that positions him as an intermediary figure between the human and spiritual worlds. The book also mentions other figures, such as the archangels, who help execute the final judgment, emphasizing the hierarchical complexity of heaven and the interactions between celestial beings and humans. The constant dialogue between heaven and earth in Enoch reinforces the idea that the fate of humanity is closely tied to divine intervention and the fulfillment of celestial orders. The influence of the Book of Enoch on religious traditions and the formation of sacred scriptures is a topic that generates much interest among scholars. The book presents visions that can be seen as heretical or radical, especially when compared to traditional biblical theology. Its content, although rejected by most Christian traditions, had a significant influence on apocalyptic Judaism and some of the early Christian sects. One of the reasons the Book of Enoch was widely rejected is that it presents a view of the Messiah that does not align directly with traditional Christian theology. In the book, the Messiah appears as a cosmic figure, pre-existing before the creation of the world, who has the power to restore universal order and administer justice. This view can be seen as a precursor influence on Christian ideas about Christ, but at the same time it was considered incompatible with Orthodox Christian doctrine, which focused more on the human figure of Jesus. However, the Book of Enoch also had a significant impact on other mystical and esoteric traditions. It was one of the sources that influenced the development of Jewish Kabbalah, an esoteric tradition that seeks to uncover the hidden mysteries of the universe and the nature of God. The vision of fallen angels and divine intervention in the world are recurring themes in Kabbalah and other esoteric thought systems. Moreover, the Book of Enoch also played a crucial role in the formation of several apocalyptic and Gnostic movements that arose in the early centuries of the Christian era. These movements had a worldview that included a cosmic struggle between forces of light and darkness, very similar to the narrative of the Book of Enoch about the fall of the angels and the final judgment. The idea of a cosmic Messiah destined to restore order was also a central theme in these movements. In today's world, the Book of Enoch remains a source of fascination for many people, not only within the religious realm but also in esoteric circles and even in conspiracy theories. The story of the Watchers and their fall has been reinterpreted in various ways, including as a metaphor for the interaction between humans and extraterrestrials. Some theories suggest that the Nephilim were actually beings from another planet, and that alien interference in the early stages of humanity was camouflaged under the guise of a fallen angel story. The apocalyptic ideas in the Book of Enoch also fit perfectly into modern narratives of the end of the world, with the imminence of a final judgment and the arrival of a Messiah. For many, these interpretations offer a parallel with global tensions, natural disasters, and political events we are witnessing today. The Book of Enoch, therefore, continues to be an inexhaustible source of speculation, both in the spiritual realm and in the field of conspiracy theories. The Book of Enoch is a powerful and mysterious work, full of surprising stories about the origin of evil, the fall of the angels, and the final judgment. Its revelations are difficult to accept for many religious traditions, which may explain why it was excluded from the Bible. However, the ideas it contains continue to influence and provoke debates to this day. Should the Book of Enoch be part of the Bible, or does it reveal secrets the Church would prefer to keep hidden? Perhaps it brings to light uncomfortable truths that challenge the traditional understanding of faith, the apocalypse, and divine nature. Leave your opinion in the comments. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next mysteries we'll explore together. And if you want to continue exploring the mysteries and secrets of the Church and the spiritual world, I suggest watching the video that's appearing now on the screen. In it, we'll dive deeper into the enigmas that have been hidden in plain sight. See you next time.